say happy Valentine in advance. And wait, I'm making this video for Valentine, but I'm wishing you happy Valentine's whenever you watch it, either before, during, or after Valentine's. This is the month of February, is the month of love, and even though the economy isn't so loving right now, at the end of the day, love is in our hearts, love is in my heart, and I'm sending it out to you. Yeah, so happy Valentine's to all of my viewers. Thank you for the love, thank you for the support, thank you for always watching, thank you for liking, leaving a comment. Thank you, I appreciate it. I really do. Now, today's topic, spending Valentine's alone. I'll make this one short because there isn't much to be said. Valentine is coming. Where is your boyfriend? You are sitting at home. Oh, you are so lonely. You are so lonely. You have nobody. You're on your own. Okay, let me not be singing. This is not a concert. Anyways, yeah, that's the topic for today. Those of us that are spending Valentine's, my very first video. This will be like a 3-year anniversary of this channel. Although I've not been doing a lot of videos. I started 3 years ago. Then I stopped because I needed some time to myself to figure out what I wanted to do. And I'm back. But the very first video I did, the title of the video is No Bay, No Problem. And it was during Valentine. I don't know if I uploaded it before or Valentine. I'll check that out. But it was during Valentine, and it was inspired by Valentine. What had happened was, the office I was working in, then we talk a lot during break and we gist, and so they were all, the guys were like, blessing, so who's your Valentine? Me or any Valentine? I want to but the way they were talking, like, hey, how can you not have? Oh, you are not these boys that have been toasting you these days in this office, great. Like, so the whole thing was just annoying me. And when I get annoyed, I either write a poem or a song. That's typically how I do it. I write a poem or I write a song. But this time around, I was like, you know what? I always wanted to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about that. So then, to add to one of the things I do now when I feel passionate about a topic / when I'm annoyed, is I talk about it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do no problem. And the aim of that video was to console those that are lonely on Valentine's Day and to know that there's nothing wrong with you. And since it's 3 years anniversary / the ginger / restart of my channel, and it's Valentine again, and I ain't got no Valentine again, I thought it would be nice to just come back and talk about some of the things I've learned from then up until now about having no Valentine, the pressure, and how you might feel away being alone. This is what I'll say to you. First and foremost, for those that have Valentines, congratulations. I mean it. I'm not trying to be shady. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Because love is a beautiful thing. It is beautiful. And when you find the right person, which I hope you have, I hope you're not going to be chopping breakfast anytime soon. But if you find the right person under the right circumstances / conditions, I think it's one of the greatest things to ever happen to anybody. So I'm happy for those that have found love, and I hope that it lasts. And I hope that, I hope it works out for you. Now, my country people, those that do not have, and those that have 4 or 5, I'm not even going to address you. I just wish you well. You're not doing the work of the Lord. The work of the person you are doing, I'm not going to tell you. So for those of us that, might not have a Valentine or something like that, this is what I was saying. So from then on till this very moment, I've experienced lonely Valentines just by myself. And when I've been questioned about it, even though I laugh it off, in my quiet time I think about it and I'm like, I've thought about it, and it actually kind of started to bother me a bit, because I was just like, okay, is there something really wrong with me? Because you go online and everybody has this thing and you don't have it. So I'm just like, is there something wrong with me? This is what I'll say. Do not get caught up in the public display of affection, because it's not always pretty. Even in best relationships, they have hard times, they just don't show it. So don't get caught up in all of that and then begin to down yourself, because once you begin to overthink certain things, it becomes a bigger problem. And when it becomes a bigger problem, you might find yourself having a scarcity mentality, or you just find yourself in a place where you end up settling for less, because now you have managed to convince yourself that there's something wrong with you. So now you're just going to, you might settle for anything. You might settle for less, you might settle for something you know you don't deserve. But yeah, just like, you know what, I want to collect gift on Valentine's Day. So you might, so don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Do all the right things, meet new people. I'm not saying just stay yours, because I need to take the advice. Be open, meet new people, let go of your past heartbreak so that you can open up to new love. Do the work. Do the work. Forgive yourself for the past mistakes you've made. Heal from your past breakup. Anything that may be hindering you from being open and meeting new people that may or may not be the love of your life. Try to heal that. And once you heal that, don't rush it. Because if you fall into the wrong relationship and things don't end up working out, you will end up with emotional scars that you would have preferred being lonely. Just like, oh, you've not dated anybody for 2 years. You may not have experienced, all of the cute moments. But if somebody else dates somebody who is narcissistic or toxic and breaks them into pieces, manipulates them, you that are lonely, you're better than them. So I'm not saying that everybody in a relationship is in a bad situation. I'm saying it is better to not be in any relationship than to be in a bad relationship. That is what I'm saying. So don't just get caught up in the facade and the show that they're putting up. It's not always pretty. Aside that, the one important thing I'll tell you, which is something that I had to learn, was instead of looking for love everywhere else, ask yourself, have you loved yourself? Have you taken time to, actually love yourself? The one important lesson I have learned is loving yourself it sounds cliche, but a lot of us, we don't do it, and we think we do love ourselves. Loving yourself does not mean taking yourself out and eating suya. Have you taken care of your emotional self? Have you been able to put yourself first? You can't find love from somebody else if you've not loved yourself. And even if you do find love, it is very hard for you to keep it, because you don't even have an environment for that love to thrive. So even if you find somebody that loves you, you won't be able to accept it. Instead, you may be drawn to toxic situations and replicating toxic experiences that you've experienced in the past because you're not fully healed. You might put other people's needs before your own. And it was until I woke up one day and I almost could not recognize the girl in the mirror. And I was alone, but I felt so empty because all the people that I loved so much and that I got my validation from were no longer in my life. I'm not saying I lost everybody that cared about me, but there are just certain people that I held so close to my heart, that I loved so much. So when they're no longer a part of my story, that was when I realized that I had written a wrong story. Because people go and people leave and you leave and it's not comfortable. But when it gets to a point where it's almost like you don't even know who you are anymore, now that certain people have left your life, it's like you don't have meaning. That means you never had full meaning in the first place. Or you let go of your own, you let go of who you were to accommodate other people and love other people. And now that they've gone, that empty vacuum in your heart feels really, it just feels really, you feel hopeless and meaningless. And that stuff, it hurts. It hurts like a, so if you see that a chapter has closed in your life, but there isn't enough within you for you to feel like it's okay to move on. It feels like you want. It feels like there's nothing more left in your life story because some people walked out. That means your story wasn't rich in the first place. That means you didn't take time to invest in yourself, and you're busy investing in those people and holding on to them. And now that they've left, you're empty. So that's when I realized I didn't love myself. I was loving different people. I didn't really love myself. So love could not even locate me. Proper love couldn't locate me because I don't love myself. I didn't love myself. I thought I did. I honestly thought I did love myself. Because it's like, why would I love myself? Everybody just feels, of course I love myself. But it's deeper than that. It's the things that you accept. It's the choices you make. When you say yes to somebody else, are you saying no to yourself? It's your priorities. When you need to do something for yourself and when you need to do something for somebody else, do you abandon yourself and just rush and say, you know what, I want to give everything to that person? It's nice to be good. It's good to be nice. But it is horrible to not be good or nice to yourself. So if you're spending Valentine alone, just take the time to spend some time with yourself, by yourself, and ask yourself if you have prioritized your own needs or the needs of others. If you have taken time to love yourself, to choose yourself in difficult situations. And if you have, good for you, keep it up. And if you haven't, this is the year to start. Because the truth is, if you don't love yourself and if you haven't defined yourself or your boundaries, it's very hard for you to receive love because you don't even know what love is. So how do you want to receive it? Even when somebody really loves you, you won't be able to accept it because you don't have it inside of you. So being alone is not the worst thing. The reason why being alone sometimes is hard is because you don't love yourself or because you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself or within yourself. So cultivate that and have a happy Valentine. Enjoy yourself by yourself. And remember that I love you. And because I love you, I will be sharing my personal poems that I wrote years ago when I was still a poet. So I will be sharing them. It's season of love. So look out for that. So take care. Have an amazing Valentine. I pray that the month of February brings you love, inner peace, happiness, and I hope that you become the best versions of yourselves. And on that note,